Well, March has ended, and it's time for April showers, which we've been getting here all day, but that's beside the point. The point of this video is to talk about all the things that I got in the mail over the month of March. So, let's talk about it.
Sanity runs in my family. Practically gallant.
Open your mind, suck and eat your brain. Don't act like you didn't know I'm insane. I'm a train wreck, denim in your head. The dance of the dead months under your bed. Got no limits and got no lines. I'm over the edge and out of town.
Hey, all you drive-in mutants and pop culture junkies, Gen X fans of all shapes, sizes, and ages, welcome to Unconformed Media. I'm Jerry, and in this video, we're going to talk about all of the things that were delivered to me in the mail over the month of March. Yeah, anything that I go out and buy will be covered in a different video, but these particular haul videos are called mail call because they're only what I got in the mail. So let's get to it. And I'll start with the reason I'm a little late getting to this, and that would be this that got delivered. Get that glare off there. There we go. This got delivered right at the end of the month. Just trying to get that spot. There you go. Can see some of the spot gloss on there. I'll just hold this backing card up for you. So if you want to pause and look at special features, there's some pretty good stuff on there. Some interviews with some musicians, stuff like that. The back art and the inside. Yeah, this is only a Blu-ray, not a 4K. I was actually thinking it was going to be a 4K, but it's not. It's a Blu-ray, which means they may pull one of those fast ones on us and give us a 4K later. But I already took a look at this, and it looks great as it is. It looks and sounds great, and I was really happy to get this. I have a lot of good memories of this movie when it first came out, so I'm happy to just have it, and it is a very nice looking steelbook. Now I'll move over to something a little different. March's issue of Remind magazine. And on the back, we got a big Captain Blood poster. We got our Through the Decades, of course. As usual, with our trivia and our decade-related poster or puzzles. We got a cool article about the history of Blackbeard that appears in the 1950s. And our time capsule. Our time capsule this month is 1967. Let's take a quick look at this. Cost of living in 1967. Median yearly income, $7,933. Minimum wage per hour, $1.40. Median cost of a new home, $22,700. A postage stamp costs 5 cents. Gas, 33 cents per gallon. Gold, $34.95 per ounce. A pound of bacon would cost you 50 cents. A quart of mayonnaise would cost you 69 cents. Peanut butter, 12 ounces, 39 cents. Orange juice, a half gallon, 49 cents. And a 22-inch console color TV, $179. Yeah, that's the kind of cool information you can get from Remind magazine. And of course, swashbucklers is the theme, as you saw on the cover. I haven't really gone through that issue, but looks like it's going to be fun. As usual, this one will have its own video coming soon. I'm going to be doing a series on vanishing films, and this is definitely one that is hard to get a hold of. This is the only way to get this on DVD is this German import, which I discovered does have some English. It has an international cut. The main cut is a German TV edit, and then there's the international cut, which I thought was in English. Parts of it are in English. The parts that were cut out of the TV version are put back in English, but the rest of it is in German. So if you just want to have this so you can have it on DVD, this was limited to, I believe, 1,000, and I have number 584, as you can see. So, not many of it might have been 800. I should have looked that up before doing the video. I forgot about it. I am going to do a whole separate video just about vanishing films, and the first vanishing film is going to be Tilt, starring Brooke Shields. Then I finally picked this up, American Grindhouse, a Grindhouse documentary, because I'm a huge Grindhouse fan. This is another one that I've been waiting on for a while, Electrolux. Something I intended to get long ago, but just never got around to. And I got Bachelor Party on DVD. Is that all the DVD? No, that's not all the DVDs, because I also got this. Another Super Jewel box, Super Jewel case, however you want to say that, of The Presents, which I already had on, here it is, on DVD, and it's the exact same DVD. I just wasn't going to pass up on this packaging, and I am going to be doing a video coming up soon. That's why I'm reaching up here into this stack, because I have several stacks on a small table next to my desk where I've staged all of the stuff that I'm going to be using in a video called DVD, The Wild West of Home Video. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to cover all the different packaging and gimmicks that were used during the DVD era. And one of those gimmicks would be this. Dennis the Menace, which is on mini DVD. And you can see through the back there. It's two little DVDs that will play in your 4K player. You can pop them in there. There's a little tray. You might have noticed the little indentation inside that holds these. And I did open this, but you can see the price tag from Toys R Us. I cut that out and just stuck it in there because I thought it was really cool to see that price, $11.99 for this, back whenever this went on shelves. This is a type of DVD gimmick that I didn't have a representation for, and I've been wanting to get this on DVD. I am going to get a different DVD for this. I already took a look at it. Like, I don't want to watch half the movie and then take a disc out and put another disc in. That's probably why they stopped doing these, because not many people were interested in doing that. I got The Greatest Story Ever Told on Blu-ray. And I got the 4K of It Came From Outer Space with the slipcover. I love this movie so much. I love those old sci-fi movies, as you can see from the poster right there. That's one of my all-time favorites. Speaking of, here's another one that I finally picked up, Forbidden Planet. Another favorite. And this, I love both of these. There's a sequel. I was looking for the sequel on Blu-ray. It only comes in a double feature with this one, but that's waiting. There's another movie called Still Waiting, and this is the unrated and raw version on Blu-ray. I already had these on digital, and I had to get physical copies of them. So I'm going to have to get the double feature one and get the first one again so that I can have Still Waiting on Blu-ray. I'd kind of forgotten about this movie, and it just popped into my head one day, and I thought, I have to get that. So I went to see if there was a Blu-ray. There was. And you're going to notice something, this pink sticker. Again, I cut this off of the cellophane and stuck it inside. $5 a day. Christopher Walken, Sharon Stone. It is so hilarious. Christopher Walken is great. You can see the pink car right here. It is covered in little Sweet and Low packets. It's not real ones, but images of little Sweet and Low packets. So they put this on here. If you can see that there is a Sweet and Low coupon inside. And there is. Save 35 cents today on your next purchase of Sweet and Low, except on the 50 count. Can't get 35 cents off the 50 count. Trying to figure out where to put this stuff. I'm running out of space. I was hoping they would fix this. That's why I held off on buying it. And then I found out, oh, they fixed it and it's re-released. The Cell from Arrow. Yeah, I really wanted to get that. And I knew there was a little issue with I believe it was the director's cut, had a loop in it. So I waited. I held off, wondering if they were going to send out replacement discs or if they were going to do anything about that. And then I found out they did. They did fix it, and they released it again. And I got it there. By the way, it does have the original cover art available. It's reversible on the sleeve. And Death to Smoochie from Shout Factory. It's a Shout Select. That's one that, again, I have great memories of, so I had to have that. This is another one that reminds me of my dad. That's why as soon as I saw Warner Archive had put it out, I immediately thought of my dad, and I had to grab it quick. And I actually saw there's a YouTube channel called The Extras TV, and they talk a lot about Warner Archive. And that's where I found out they were going to be putting this out. And that's Lean on Me. I got 20 minutes maybe into this movie and thought, why don't they make movies this good anymore? Morgan Freeman, this is so good. And there's so many faces in there that I was noticing that are just brief appearances, but they went on to do big things. Like, I cannot remember his name, but the guy who played Chris on The Sopranos, you can spot him in a crowd that's on a stage. But this is a great movie about a true story about this guy they called Crazy Joe, who became the principal of this school. And there's a great scene that I remember my dad used to talk about it all the time, where he's trying to keep all the bad kids out of the school. And the press is showing up because he's chaining the doors and stuff like that. So he comes out to talk to the reporters, and he's got a baseball bat in his hand, and they ask him about the bat, and he says, well, they used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman, and holds up the bat. This is all stuff that happened back in the 80s. It was the schools in the inner cities. could get really, really bad, extremely dangerous. So they sent in this guy who they knew he was nuts, but he would get the job done. And he did. And it's a great movie and a high recommend. Speaking of high recommends, Boxcar Bertha, I got this Cinematograph. As soon as it was released, I had to have it. I love this movie from Scorsese. It's also a Roger Corman production. I'll hold up the J card here if you want to pause and check out special features. There's not a lot, but you do get a little, there's an intro from, and I can't remember the guy's name, Ben Mankiewicz. He's the Turner Movies host, the guy who introduces Turner Movies when they're doing all of their, or when they did, I don't know if they still do this, when they did like marathons and they would show a bunch of old movies, he would introduce them. It's the same guy if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, he does the intro for that, for the 4K of Wizard of Oz. Well, he doesn't do it for the 4K, but it's on the 4K. Yeah, I guess most of you have probably seen these before, but if you haven't, this opens up. There is a ribbon to make that easier. It's like a little hardback book, and your discs are inside, and then you have different information about the book or about the movie. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired and I'm trying to rush through this. I intended to do this hours ago. Okay, that's mostly one stack down. Now let me move back over here. Another video that'll be coming up in the future that I have been talking to some people about, and the reason I was talking to people about it was because they're going to be mentioned in the video. I won't do anything in this video, but I can just tell you, if you know where to look, eBay, you can find these. There's somebody who does a great job with these Homebrews. And there's a couple people that I'll be talking about in that Homebrews video that are doing amazing work. Really, really quality. I already have other releases from this specific guy. And I saw he put out Return to Horror High. It looks great. It's fantastic. You get special features on there and everything. And then this was the first one I spotted and had to have. A double feature, a Peter Jackson double feature of Bad Taste and Dead Alive, both on Blu-ray. And you can read all about them there. That's got all your specs. There's details about these that I won't go into. I'll just tell you, they look great, they sound great, they are great. And if you can find them on eBay, get them. They're very, very reasonably priced. These are not crazy prices. And there's another guy that I got a Blu-ray of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. There's a Blu-ray that a guy made. You can find him on Facebook. Well, he told me to tell people his name and where to find him. So I'll go ahead and tell you that. If you're looking for that movie, because I know a lot of people are, they're wanting that on Blu-ray. His name is Roy Dam. That's it. Roy Dam. Look him up on Facebook. He's got a ton of stuff. Now, let me get into these. And that's what we'll end on. There's a small stack here of Full Moon. And you might have seen that I posted on social media. I'm still waiting to hear back from Full Moon on this. If I don't hear from them soon, I'm going to call them. I'm just going to call and talk to them and ask for a statement about this because there's some issues with these. And I really love these movies, and you can see I bought a lot of them all at once this month. I bought Subspecies 5 Bloodrise. And a lot of these, I think most of them, if not all, have the video zones on them. So it's very important you be able to access the special features that are on these. There's Seedpeople, which, what is her name? Andrea. Sorry. Andrea Roth. Yeah, you might remember her from Rescue Me with Dennis Leary, the series. She really... There was a funny thing that happened on Twitter. I watched that movie one night and I mentioned her on Twitter, and she had some comments about the movie. She was really surprised that anybody was watching that movie. But it's an old favorite of mine. My high school girlfriend and I used to rent it all the time. I also got Bad Channels. A high recommend. Even if you don't like Full Moon, you have to watch this movie. It is so good. And the music is awesome. Got Blue Oyster Cult on there. Got Subspecies 4 Bloodstorm on Blu-ray. The reason I got these two Blu-rays, one, I didn't have a physical copy of Bloodrise. And since I was buying that, I was like, well, I only have Bloodstorm on DVD. So let me go and get those both on Blu-ray. And now I have all of the Subspecies movies on Blu-ray. And I didn't have to buy that expensive coffin case to get them. I've been buying them over the years. Now this one, love the movie, Blood Dolls. This is the first one that I put in. And this is where I noticed the problem I mentioned earlier about accessing special features. There are trailers on here, Hollyweird promo, music video, bloopers, original trailer, and a video zone. There's some great special features usually included. Not a lot of them, but what's on there is great by Full Moon. But if you have a Panasonic 4K player that has the HCX processor in it, you may not be able and probably won't be able to access the special features without some tricks. There's a fix that I discovered. It doesn't work 100% of the time. And I've already done some B-roll to get that, and I'll get that video out as soon as I can to show you guys about it. And like I said, I'd really like to hear from Full Moon if they're going to do anything, what it is, and I'll go into detail about it in the video. What it is, it's the menu architecture. There's a conflict in the HCX processor. So what it does is just immediately jump to the movie. It's trying to read that information, and there's something about this old, I don't remember all the details of it. I have all that information for you for a future video about all the Full Moon Blu-rays. I've tested all of them. Some of them work better than others, but all of them have at least slight issues with the menus on my Panasonic 4K player. And I tried to find the culprit and used AI, and AI ended up identifying the problem, and it said it was with the HCX processor. There's conflict in the menu architecture. It's the type that Full Moon is using on all their Blu-rays. I hope they'll respond and address this problem, and at least in the future stop using that, so that way we're all able to access this and get that HCX upscaling, which is great. by the way. If you haven't experienced that, you should. It's really good. But I'm going to try to deal with them. I've never had issues communicating with Full Moon in the past, but for some reason this time, I don't know if my message got overlooked or if they're just really swamped. Maybe they're preparing for the big 50% off sale. I don't know. But I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it, and I'll do a video about that so you can see the workaround and all that stuff. If you're having that problem, you'll be able to fix it, hopefully. And if you have a Samsung TV, there's an HDMI conflict as well. It can actually just cut off the HDMI handshake. So it cuts the signal completely, as if you turned the 4K player off, even though it's still running. And you have to actually go into the settings, to the HDMI settings, and do troubleshooting and get it to finally loop back around where you can start accessing things. It's a real mess. I actually had to reset up everything differently, so just so that I could watch the Blu-rays without any problems with the HDMI. And I don't want people to have to deal with that. So if I can put information out there that will help people, I want to do it. But I think that's all I got for you. That's all for now. So I'm going to say farewell, pop culture nerds. And remember, it's hip to be square. So corrode your conformity.